military ordinariate of the Archdiocese of Pretoria has a long and lengthy history. It began really in 1951 as the vicariate, the military vicariate, and in 1986 it was then made a full ordinariate attached to the Archdiocese of Pretoria. In an ordinary, ordinariate, as it is known in the church widely, an ordinariate is an independent, separate entity with a bishop who cares actually for the military, people in charge entrusted to him in the military ordinariate. But there are few of the military ordinariate that are attached actually to a diocese, and the Archdiocese of Pretoria is one, which means that anyone who is appointed Archbishop of Pretoria automatically also become the military ordinariate of South Africa, as it is called. It means Archbishop Dabula Anthony Mpako is the military ordinariate of South Africa. He is charged with the responsibility of pastoral care for all the people that are working in the military. What does this job entail? It means that he appoints chaplains to provide pastoral care for the actual soldiers that are actually working in the military, their family, and all those who are ministering within the military setup. In the Archdiocese of Pretoria, we have one military parish, which is Tabaswan. And the purpose of this is to provide pastoral care for all those who are located within the military precinct of the South African National Defence Force, who happen to be Catholic. And then the pastoral care includes many things: their own families, that means marriage, the sacraments, but also the support in terms of pastoral care in as much as it touches issues, first of all, of those who are actually involved in battles, those who undertake peacekeeping, and those who actually do any functions in the military who are Catholics are supposed to be supported, first of all, spiritually. Secondly, also the support that they need, like counseling and other, issues that they face as, people who are, working in the military. A lot of them actually undertake quite a lot of border work, peacekeeping, like you have seen in the DRC, in Mozambique, and also in the other parts of the continents where they are actually posted. So it is the responsibility of the military ordinary to ensure that, first of all, they are provided for spiritually and pastorally in terms of the care in a nutshell, sacraments and all the others that they need. But above all, for instance, those who go out, to keep peacekeeping missions, their families remain behind, and some of them, they need pastoral care in terms of support, in terms of counseling. Most of them, those families, live with anxiety because they don't know if whether their husband or wives will actually come back, or their mothers and fathers will come back from the peacekeeping missions. So it is the task of the church actually to provide them with spiritual assistance, closeness, prayer, counseling, but also to assure them so that they do not live for a long time with anxiety. The Jubilee year of the armed forces is actually taking place in Rome as we speak. Actually, this weekend, beginning with tomorrow, the military people will undertake a pilgrimage to Rome with the military bishops from all over the world who will gather in Rome. First of all, in the morning to pass through the Holy Door. As you know, the Jubilee has two motives. One is to help people to renew their faith in God, to be restored to God through the sacrament of reconciliation, but also to have some kind of a form, of a passage from a life of sin, to a new life that is offered to them, through Christ. And that's why people pass through the Holy Door in order to symbolize the fact of the movement from a life of sin to a new life, which is actually given through Jesus Christ, who is the door, to our salvation. So one of the first things that would be happening with this Jubilee in Rome in particular, it will be that all the military people, their families, chaplains, and bishops who are actually involved in the security cluster will then pass through the holy doors in the 4 earmarked basilicas, the Basilica of St. Peter's, St. Paul, outside of the hall, the Lateran, the Mary Major, where actually the Holy Father will have tomorrow an address with all the military, bishops, in terms of reminding them that the Jubilee Year of Hope offers also the military people hope, in a sense that most of them work in very challenging and difficult situations, that their commitment to peacekeeping in the world is accompanied by the church's closeness, the spiritual presence, and God who is present in their mission of peacekeeping. And part of it would be the Holy Father's appeal also, that the many wars that are enraging, in the world. You will remember we have the war between, Israel and Palestine. You have the Ukraine. You also have many places that are torn by conflict, in Africa, the Sudan, Mozambique. You also have, the DRC. And in all these countries where peacekeeping is involved, soldiers are involved. There are also issues that touch very much on the life of the soldiers, the issues of migration, because we have a lot of migrants and refugees, and very often in many countries, the army assists a lot in terms of making the life of people, easy, supporting the refugees, those who are displaced, and so on. So the Jubilee of Hope, it's really to, give them, support, give them hope that actually their work, of providing support, to victims of any circumstances is supported by the church, both spiritually and otherwise. My message to the country, is that we need to continue, praying for our soldiers. These are heroes and heroines who actually have given their lives not only to preventing, war, but who have put their own lives, to ensure that there is peace in the continent and the end of war and that the culture of violence and the culture of death is ended. So they are our own heroes. We need to actually welcome them. In fact, if you were to use church language, these are people who are martyrs who had given their own life in actually ensuring peace on the continent. And we are grateful to them, and we ask, people, to support their own families, to stay closer, to them. And particularly also, as a church, we offer our own message of condolence, to their own families for the loss, and we assure everyone of our prayers. In this Archdiocese, on the 22nd of February, all the parishes will celebrate the Security Cluster Day, and on this we would also keep a special memorial for these fallen heroes. And then we will continue to encourage our parishes to actually support those who are in the security cluster. That means military, police, correctional service, security service, and also those that are, keeping our roads safe in terms of the traffic officers and so on. So that their work will be a work that supports peace, harnesses harmony, and grants all of us confidence of all our safety, as a country. And we will certainly remember them, and then a special mass will be celebrated also in honor of the repose of their soul.